Explore the untold stories of Cambodia's ancient wonders. Welcome to our deep dive into the top incredible archaeological discoveries in Cambodia. While everyone knows Angkor Wat, this video uncovers the secrets and hidden histories of the entire Angkor Archaeological Park and beyond. Join us on a virtual tour of ancient temples, lost cities, and mysterious ruins that defined the Khmer Empire. Cambodia's most incredible archaeological discoveries that rewrote history. Angkor Wat, the discovery of Angkor Wat by the Western world, though never truly lost as it was maintained by Buddhist monks, represents one of archaeology's most profound revelations. This monumental temple complex, built by King Suryavarman II in the early 12th century after Christ, is the largest religious structure on Earth by land area and stands as the ultimate expression of Khmer architectural genius. Initially dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu, its intricate bas-reliefs stretch for thousands of feet, depicting not only mythological stories like the churning of the ocean of milk, but also historical scenes of the king's army and celestial dancers known as Apsaras. The entire structure is a microcosm of the Hindu universe, with its central quincunx of towers representing Mount Meru, the home of the gods, and the surrounding moat symbolizing the cosmic ocean. The precision of its construction is staggering, with its alignment to the sun allowing for spectacular solar phenomena during the equinoxes. For archaeologists, Angkor Wat is a continuous source of study, from deciphering the stories on its walls to understanding the advanced engineering required to stabilize such a massive sandstone structure on soft soil. Its gradual transformation into a Buddhist pilgrimage site further adds layers of cultural and religious significance, making it a living testament to the spiritual evolution of Cambodia across centuries. Angkor Thom, the Great City, was the magnificent and sprawling last capital of the Khmer Empire, established by the revered King Jayavarman VII in the late 12th century after Christ. Enclosed by a massive square wall and a wide moat, the city was a profound statement of royal power and divine kingship. Its most iconic entrance is the South Gate, approached by a causeway lined with colossal statues of gods and demons engaged in the mythic tug-of-war of the churning of the ocean of milk. At the very heart of Angkor Thom lies the Bayon Temple, an archaeological marvel whose most distinctive features are the dozens of serene, massive stone faces gazing out from its towers, believed to represent both the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara and the king himself. The city was a vast urban center, and modern archaeological techniques like LiDAR have revealed an extensive grid of roads, canals, and dwelling mounds that housed a population of tens, if not hundreds of thousands. The Terrace of the Elephants and the Terrace of the Leper King, with their exquisite carvings, served as royal viewing platforms for public ceremonies. Angkor Thom represents the zenith of the empire's urban planning and its definitive shift from Hinduism to Mahayana Buddhism, encapsulating a golden age of Khmer civilization. Ta Prohm, the archaeological site of Ta Prohm, also built by King Jayavarman VII in the late 12th century after Christ, was intentionally left largely unrestored by conservators to preserve its unique state of being engulfed by the jungle. This decision has made it one of the most evocative and photographed temples in Angkor, offering a glimpse of how many of the monuments appeared when European explorers first encountered them. Originally known as Raja Vihara, or Monastery of the King, it was a Buddhist university and monastery dedicated to the king's mother. Its stele, a stone inscription discovered on site, provides incredible detail about its operation, listing the thousands of people, including high priests, dancers, and servants needed to maintain it, and noting its vast treasury of gold, pearls, and silks. The most striking archaeological feature of Top Prom today is the symbiotic relationship between nature and architecture, where the sprawling roots of giant strangler fig and silk cotton trees grip the stonework like massive serpents. Their slow, powerful growth simultaneously tearing the structures apart and holding them together. This creates a powerful, romantic ruin that speaks directly to the transience of even the greatest empires and the relentless, reclaiming power of nature. Priya Vihar. Perched dramatically on a cliff edge in the Dangrek Mountains, the Temple of Priya Vihar is a stunning archaeological site dedicated to the Hindu god Shiva, with its construction spanning several centuries from the early 9th to the 12th centuries after Christ. Its unique linear layout, stretching over 600 meters along a north-south axis, is a masterwork of adaptation to the difficult and spectacular natural terrain. Unlike the concentric temple mountains of Angkor, Priya Vihar is designed as a series of grand pavilions and gateways connected by long causeways and steep staircases, each offering breathtaking views of the plains of Cambodia far below. The temple's intricate carvings, including detailed depictions of Hindu myths and a beautiful rendition of the churning of the ocean of milk, are of exceptional quality. Its remote and strategic location made it both an important spiritual site and a fortified stronghold. In the modern era, its position on the Thai-Cambodian border led to a long-standing territorial dispute, which was settled in Cambodia's favor by the International Court of Justice in 1962, making the temple not just an archaeological treasure, but also a potent symbol of national pride and sovereignty. Bante Sre. The discovery and subsequent restoration of Bante Sre, known as the Citadel of Women or the Citadel of Beauty, revealed what many consider to be the finest piece of classical Khmer art in existence. Unlike the massive state temples built by kings, Bante Sre was constructed in the 10th century after Christ by a Brahmin counselor to the king, which may explain its relatively small scale but unparalleled decorative intensity. The temple is dedicated to the Hindu god Shiva and is built from a distinctive, hard, pink sandstone that has allowed for carving of astonishing depth and intricacy. The pediments, lintels, and friezes are covered with exquisitely preserved and deeply cut scenes from Hindu epics like the Ramayana, featuring gods, goddesses, and mythical creatures of breathtaking detail and artistry. The name Citadel of Women stems from the delicate beauty of the carvings and the many devata, or female deities, depicted, which are so finely rendered they were thought to be beyond the capability of a male sculptor. Its remote location saved it from the worst of the looting that affected other sites, and a major restoration in the 1930s, one of the first of its kind, set important precedents for archaeological conservation, making Bante Sre a jewel of Khmer craftsmanship. Sambor Pri Cook. The archaeological site of Sambor Pri Cook, identified as the ancient city of Ishanapura, is the pre-Angkorian capital of the Chenla kingdom, dating from the late 6th to early 7th centuries after Christ. This makes it one of the oldest known urban settlements in Cambodia and a crucial site for understanding the origins of Khmer temple architecture. The site is characterized by dozens of brick temples, many of which are octagonal in shape, a distinctive feature of this early period. These sturdy brick structures are decorated with intricate stucco carvings that still retain traces of their original finish, depicting floral motifs, flying palaces, and Hindu deities. The city layout, with its central walled enclosures and surrounding moats, clearly foreshadow the grand urban plans of later Angkor. The forest setting, where ancient trees have grown over and around the ruins, creates an atmosphere of deep antiquity. As a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Sombor Pri Cook provides invaluable evidence of the cultural, religious, and architectural developments that would eventually culminate in the glorious achievements of the Angkorian era, serving as a direct architectural and artistic precursor. Khmer, for a brief but spectacular two-decade period in the 10th century after Christ, Khmer served as the capital of the Khmer Empire under King Jayavarman IV. This remote archaeological site, located in a forest region northeast of the main Angkor complex, represents a dramatic and powerful departure from the classical Angkor style. Its most iconic structure is the Prasat Tom, a massive seven-tiered pyramid temple that rises dramatically from the jungle floor. Unlike the steep stairways of Angkorian pyramids, Prasat Tom was designed with a gradual, climbable ramp, leading to a summit that once held a gigantic linga, a symbol of the god Shiva, and which now offers commanding views of the surrounding forest. The site is also famous for its unique and dynamic sculpture, which features a sense of movement and individuality not commonly seen elsewhere. Furthermore, Khmer has been at the center of intense archaeological and legal attention due to widespread looting. Many of its magnificent statues, such as the famous Khmer warrior, were illicitly removed and have been the subject of high-profile repatriation cases, highlighting the ongoing battle to protect Cambodia's cultural heritage. Beng Milea, the sprawling jungle temple of Beng Milea, built in the early 12th century after Christ under King Suryavarman II as a Hindu temple, is the personification of a romantic ruin. Its design is often described as a mirror of Angkor Wat in its ground plan, but it has been left almost entirely in the devastatingly beautiful grip of the jungle. Massive sandstone blocks lie in colossal heaps, brought down by the slow, inexorable force of tree roots. Vaulted galleries are choked with vegetation, and wooden walkways now allow visitors to traverse the chaotic and picturesque scene. The sheer scale of the collapse provides a stark, open-air lesson in archaeology and the physics of structural failure. It offers an unfiltered vision of the power of nature and the scale of the task faced by conservators at more restored sites. For archaeologists, Beng Milea is a crucial site for understanding the extent of the Khmer Empire's infrastructure, as it lay on the ancient royal road to Khmer and was likely an important stop on the pilgrimage and trade routes, its current state preserving a moment frozen in time since the empire's decline.
Phnom Chisor. The Temple of Phnom Chisor, perched atop a solitary hill in the Takeo province, is a magnificent Hindu temple built in the 11th century after Christ during the reign of King Suryavarman I. Reaching the summit requires a climb of over 400 steps, a pilgrimage that rewards the visitor with panoramic views of the surrounding pancake-flat Cambodian countryside. The temple itself, constructed mainly of brick and laterite with sandstone door frames, is a fine example of classic Khmer architecture. Its sanctuary towers, though weathered, still stand imposingly, and the sandstone lintels over the doorways feature beautifully carved depictions of Hindu deities, including Vishnu and Indra. A unique feature of the site is the long, covered ambulatory gallery that leads from the main temple complex. The hilltop location was clearly chosen for both its spiritual significance, bringing worshippers closer to the gods, and for its strategic defensive value, serving as a lookout over the ancient capital of Angkor Wat and the fertile plains below. Phnom Chisor represents the widespread influence of the Angkorian state and its architectural style far beyond the immediate vicinity of the grand capital.
Priya Khan of Kampong Sway, located in the Priya Vihar province, is one of the largest and least visited temple complexes from the Angkorian period. Originally known as Bakan, it was a massive, fortified city that played a critical role as a strategic hub for the empire's vast iron production industry. Its construction spanned from the 11th to the 13th centuries after Christ. The complex is enclosed by a massive moat and wall, within which lies a central temple surrounded by satellite shrines and barays, reservoirs. The most striking structure is the Prasat Stung, a majestic temple tower standing on a laterite base in the middle of the largest baray, creating a dramatic reflection in the water. For centuries, the site was heavily looted, and its remote location made it difficult to protect. However, it has gained archaeological prominence as the original source of many of the bronze statues that were illicitly trafficked from Cambodia, including a significant statue of the kneeling attendant Duryodhana that was returned to Cambodia after being discovered in a Western museum. The site is a testament to the industrial and economic might that underpinned the religious and artistic achievements of the Khmer Empire.
The Mountain Temple of Phnom Kulen, or the Mountain of Lychees, is not a single temple, but an entire plateau of profound archaeological and religious significance for Cambodia. It was on this mountain in the year 802 after Christ that King Jayavarman II proclaimed himself a Chakravartin, or universal monarch, an event that is traditionally marked as the founding of the Khmer Empire. The site is therefore considered the birthplace of the empire. The plateau is scattered with archaeological treasures, including the River of 1,000 Lingas, where the riverbed is intricately carved with thousands of Hindu religious symbols, lingas, and images of gods, ensuring that the water flowing over them was sanctified before continuing to the plains and the capital below. There are also several important temples, such as Priyah On Tam, which houses a massive reclining Buddha carved from a single sandstone boulder. The remote and sacred nature of Phnom Kulen has preserved its forests and waterfalls, making it both an archaeological wonder and a place of natural beauty, central to the spiritual and historical identity of the Khmer people. The pre-Angkorian capital of Angkor Wat in Takeo province is a living archaeological site that was a major capital of the pre-Angkorian Funan and Chenla kingdoms, with continuous occupation dating back to at least the 5th century after Christ. The area is surrounded by a massive circular earthwork wall and moat, hinting at its former importance as a fortified urban center. Angkor Wat is intimately linked to the Oak Ao culture, a prosperous maritime trading society that connected Cambodia with India and China. Archaeological excavations here have unearthed a wealth of artifacts, including gold jewelry, Roman coins, Persian seals, and Buddhist statues, providing tangible evidence of this vast trade network. The site is also home to the Angkor Wat Museum, which houses a collection of these important finds and tells the story of Cambodia's earliest states. Perhaps most importantly, the earliest known inscription in the Khmer language, dating from the early 7th century, was found here, making Angkor Wat a critical location for understanding the origins of Khmer civilization, language, and statehood before the rise of the Angkorian Empire. The terraces of Angkor. The Terrace of the Elephants and the Terrace of the Leper King within the royal city of Angkor Thom are not temples, but massive, elaborately carved platforms that formed the heart of the Khmer Empire's public and ceremonial life in the 12th and 13th centuries after Christ. The Terrace of the Elephants, stretching for over 300 meters, was used as a giant reviewing stand for the king and his court to watch public ceremonies, parades, and military marches. Its name comes from the intricate and life-sized carvings of elephants, their mahouts, and garudas that adorn its walls, showcasing the skill of Khmer artisans in depicting the natural world.
Directly north lies the Terrace of the Leper King, a smaller but equally striking platform named after a mysterious naked statue found on its summit that was discolored by moss, resembling a person with leprosy. The terrace is famous for its hidden second wall, which was excavated to reveal multiple tiers of deeply carved figures of gods, goddesses, and mythical Naga serpents, all in a remarkable state of preservation. These terraces provide a crucial archaeological window into the secular and royal life of Angkor beyond the purely religious functions of the temples.
The Bante Chmar Temple. The remote and sprawling temple of Bante Chmar, built in the late 12th to early 13th centuries after Christ by King Jayavarman VII, is one of the most important and atmospheric archaeological sites from the Angkorian period. Its name means Citadel of the Cats, and it was built as a Buddhist monastery and funerary temple dedicated to the king's son and several prominent generals. The temple is renowned for its spectacular and extensive bas-reliefs, which are comparable in scale and quality to those at the Bayon. These carvings depict detailed scenes of military campaigns and daily life, including a famous multi-armed Avali Kotishwara and a unique scene showing a marketplace. The temple was also once adorned with hundreds of stone faces similar to the Bayon, though many have been lost to looting or collapse. Its remote location in Bante Mianche province has meant it has received less conservation attention than the temples of Siem Reap, leaving it in a captivating state of semi-ruin. A major international conservation project is now working to stabilize the complex, making Bante Chmar a priority for understanding the full extent of Jayavarman VII's architectural ambition.
The Preah Ko Temple, or the Sacred Bull, was the first temple to be constructed in the ancient city of Hariharalaya, at the site now known as Roluos, by King Indravarman I in the late 9th century. The temple is dedicated to the king's deified ancestors, and its name comes from the 3 statues of Nandi, the sacred bull who serves as the mount for the Hindu god Shiva, which stand facing the 6 main brick sanctuary towers. Preah Ko is a masterpiece of early Khmer art, showcasing the transition from the pre-Angkorian to the Angkorian style. The brick towers are exquisitely decorated with stucco figures of guardians and floral motifs, while the sandstone lintels and colonnettes feature some of the most finely detailed and deeply carved iconography of the period. The intricate carvings of Makaras, mythical sea creatures, and Dwarapalas, temple guardians, set a high artistic standard that would influence later temples. As the inaugural temple of the Roluos group, Preah Ko represents a key moment in innovation in Khmer architecture and the consolidation of royal power through the state-sponsored ancestor cult.
The Bukong Temple, located in the Ruluas group, is a landmark in the history of Khmer architecture. Built by King Indravarman I in the late 9th century after Christ, it is the first temple mountain constructed of stone at the city of Hariharalaya and served as the state temple of the king. Its design established the quintessential form of the Angkorian Temple Mountain, a central pyramid representing Mount Meru, surrounded by concentric enclosures, moats, and subsidiary temples. The 5-tiered pyramid is crowned by a single central tower, a later addition from the 12th century. The base of the pyramid is guarded by stone elephants at each cardinal direction, and the entire complex is enclosed by a moat, symbolizing the cosmic ocean. The Bukong's successful and imposing design became the prototype for all subsequent major state temples, including the Bakheng and ultimately Angkor Wat.
Its construction demonstrated a mastery of both architectural scale and hydraulic engineering, with the surrounding moats and barrays used for water management and symbolic purposes, cementing the template for the next 400 years of Khmer imperial construction. The Lole Temple, the last of the three main temples in the Reluos group, was built by King Yasovarman I at the end of the 9th century after Christ, on an artificial island in the center of the Indratataka Baray, a massive reservoir built by his father, King Indravarman I. The temple originally consisted of 4 brick towers, though only 2 stand at their full height today, dedicated to the king's maternal and paternal grandparents. Lole is significant for its historical inscriptions, which are among the most important sources for understanding the early history and administration of the Khmer Empire. The inscriptions, carved on the doorposts of the temples, provide detailed information about the temple's foundation, including the dedication of slaves, rice fields, and precious objects to sustain the cult of the deified ancestors. The temple's location in the middle of the vast, now dry reservoir is a powerful reminder of the critical importance of water management in Khmer society, linking royal power, religious devotion, and agricultural prosperity in a single, cohesive architectural statement.
The West Mebon Vishnu. The West Mebon is a temple located in the center of the vast West Baray, the largest artificial reservoir at Angkor, measuring 8 kilometers long and 2.3 kilometers wide. Built in the 11th century after Christ, the temple was situated on an artificial island and was dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu. Its most famous archaeological discovery was made in the year 1936, a massive bronze fragment of a reclining Vishnu known as the West Mebon Vishnu. This statue, though only the torso, arms, and head remain, is a masterpiece of Khmer metalwork and one of the largest bronze sculptures ever cast in Southeast Asia. It originally depicted Vishnu sleeping on the cosmic ocean at the moment of creation, from which a lotus stem emerges from his navel, giving birth to the god Brahma. The discovery of this statue confirmed the deep religious significance of the Barays, which were not just practical reservoirs, but also symbolic representations of the primeval sea of Hindu cosmology. The West Mebon Vishnu is a stunning artifact that connects the Khmer Empire's immense engineering projects to its rich and profound spiritual beliefs. The Rongchen Temple. Located on the highest peak of the Phnom Kulin Plateau, Rongchen, or the Royal Fire Temple, is a modest but historically monumental archaeological site. It is believed to be the location where, in the year 802 after Christ, King Jayavarman II performed a sacred ritual conducted by a Brahmin priest named Hiranyadama to proclaim himself a Devaraja, or God King. This ritual was the foundational act of the Khmer Empire, establishing the theological basis for the king's absolute power as a divine ruler on earth, a concept that would legitimize the empire's kings for centuries. The temple itself is a simple pyramid-shaped structure with 5 tiers, made of laterite, and it represents one of the earliest examples of the Temple Mountain form. While not architecturally elaborate, its historical and symbolic importance cannot be overstated. A pilgrimage to Rongchen is a journey to the very spot where the idea of Angkor was born, where a king transformed his rule into a divine mandate, setting in motion the cultural and architectural revolution that will produce the wonders of Angkor Wat and the Bayon. The Priya Pithu group is a collection of 5 small but elegant Hindu and Buddhist temples located in the northern part of Angkor Thom, dating from the 12th and 13th centuries after Christ. Unlike the massive state temples, these were likely built for high-ranking nobles, priests, or other members of the elite, offering a glimpse into the architecture of the aristocratic class. The temples are known for their fine decorative details, including beautifully carved lintels, pediments, and narrative bas-reliefs depicting scenes from Hindu mythology, such as the churning of the ocean of milk and the story of Krishna. One of the temples is in the classic Angkor Wat style, while others show features of the Bayon period, illustrating the artistic transition that occurred. The group is set in a quiet wooded area, giving them a peaceful and intimate atmosphere. They are significant to archaeologists because they represent the private religious endowments of the wealthy, showing that the construction of sacred space in Angkor was not solely the purview of the king, but a widespread practice among the upper echelons of society. The Akyum Temple. The discovery of the Akyum Temple, buried beneath the southwest corner of the later West Baray Reservoir, revealed a crucial piece of the architectural puzzle of early Angkor. Akyum is the earliest known example of a pyramid temple in the Angkor region, dating from the 7th or 8th century after Christ, with later additions in the 8th century. This means its original construction predates the founding of the empire by Jayavarman II. When the massive West Baray was constructed in the 11th century, the temple was partially buried by its earthworks, preserving its lower levels. Archaeological excavations have uncovered the stepped pyramid structure, which clearly foreshadows the design of later temple mountains like the Bakong and Bakeng. Akyum's existence proves that the concept of the tiered pyramid, which became the signature of Khmer state temples, was already being developed by the pre-Angkorian societies in the area. It stands as a silent, foundational precursor to all the grander pyramids that would follow, a vital link in the chain of architectural evolution.
The Phiminakis Temple. Located within the walls of the royal palace enclosure in Angkor Thom, Phiminakis, or the Celestial Palace, is a striking three-tiered pyramid temple built in the late 10th and early 11th centuries after Christ. Unlike the state temples, Phiminakis was a private temple for the king, located at the heart of his royal residence. According to legend, a golden tower once stood at its summit, where the king was required to spend the first watch of every night with a woman who was believed to be a Naga spirit. The prosperity of the kingdom was thought to depend on this ritual. The temple is built of laterite, and its steep stairways, which are incredibly difficult to climb, lead to a summit platform with a ruined sandstone sanctuary. While less decorated than other temples, its location and association with royal power and myth make it a site of great historical importance. It represents the king's personal connection to the divine and the magical beliefs that underpinned his authority, offering a more intimate look at the life and rituals of the Khmer sovereign within his own palace walls. The Esra Srang Reservoir, or Sra Srang, or the Royal Bath, is a large reservoir located opposite Bante Kedi Temple, originally built in the mid-10th century after Christ and later remodeled by King Jayavarman VII in the late 12th century. While not a temple, it is a significant archaeological feature that highlights the Khmer mastery of water engineering. The reservoir is still filled with water today, and its most striking feature is a magnificent laterite landing platform on its western side, decorated with majestic stone lions and balustrades shaped as mythical Naga serpents. This platform, which extends into the water, was likely used for royal ceremonies and embarkations. Sra Srang was part of a vast and sophisticated network of canals, moats, and reservoirs that regulated water for agriculture, prevented flooding, and had profound religious symbolism, representing the ocean surrounding Mount Meru. At sunrise, the landing platform and the reflection of the sky in the tranquil waters create one of the most serene and picturesque scenes in all of Angkor, demonstrating that the Khmers imbued even their most utilitarian structures with profound beauty and spiritual meaning.
The Bante Sambare Temple, located east of the East Baray, is a magnificent and extensive Hindu temple built in the early to mid-12th century after Christ, during the same period as Angkor Wat, whose style it closely mirrors. The complex is named for the Sumray, an ancient people who inhabited the region, and its exceptional state of restoration is due to a thorough anastylosis project carried out in the mid-20th century. The complex is unique for its grand proportions and the immense raised laterite galleries that enclose it, creating a series of concentric spaces that lead to a central quincunx of towers. The interior of the temple features beautifully carved devatas and intricate, well-preserved pediments depicting scenes from Hindu epics, particularly the Vishnu-centric stories also found at Angkor Wat. The moat that originally surrounded the temple has been largely filled in, but its outline is still visible. Bante Sambare's relative remoteness means it is often quiet, allowing visitors to appreciate the harmony of its design and the quality of its carvings in peace, offering a complete and restored example of the classical Angkor Wat style away from the main tourist crowds.
The Cabal Spion river carvings are a unique and sacred landscape feature on the southwestern slopes of the Kulin Hills. Dating from the 11th to 12th centuries after Christ, this is not a built temple, but a stretch of the Stung Siem Reap riverbed and surrounding rocks that have been intricately carved with religious symbols. The carvings include thousands of lingas, phallic symbols of the god Shiva, as well as images of Hindu gods like Vishnu, Shiva, and Brahma, and various animal forms. The purpose of these carvings was to sanctify the water that flowed over them, transforming the river into a sacred stream that would then flow down into the plains and into the reservoirs and moats of Angkor, blessing the entire kingdom. The most notable carving is a large representation of Vishnu lying on the cosmic serpent Ananta, surrounded by his consort Lakshmi and the god Brahma. A hike to Cabal Spion leads through jungle to this valley of 1,000 lingas, revealing a fascinating form of landscape archaeology where the natural world itself was transformed into a vast open-air temple.
The Pre-Rup Temple, built by King Rajendra Varman II in the mid-10th century after Christ, is a majestic temple mountain that served as the state temple of the capital then known as Rajendra Bhadreshwara. Its name, meaning "turn the body," is a modern reference to a traditional cremation ceremony, though its original function was as a Hindu temple dedicated to Shiva. Pre-Rup is constructed almost entirely of brick and laterite, which gives it a warm, reddish hue that glows magnificently at sunset. The temple's design is a more mature and complex evolution of the Bakong model, featuring a complex of towers on a raised platform with 2 tiers, surrounded by concentric enclosures. The arrangement of its towers in a quincunx pattern, one at each corner and a taller one in the center, would become a standard for later temples. Its extensive use of laterite for the enclosure walls and libraries is a notable architectural feature. Pre-Rup stands as a testament to the consolidation and refinement of the temple mountain form during a period of renewed central power after the capital's move back to the Angkor area from Ko Kher.
The East Maban Temple is a large temple mountain built by King Rajendra Varman II in the mid-10th century after Christ, located on an artificial island in the center of the now dry East Baray. Dedicated to the Hindu god Shiva and the king's parents, it is a sibling temple to Pre-Rup, built in a very similar style. Reached by elephants and boats in its time, The temple is renowned for its massive, freestanding stone elephants carved at the corners of the first and second tiers, which are in a remarkable state of preservation. The temple is built of brick, laterite, and sandstone, and its 5 sanctuary towers on the top platform are decorated with exquisite lintels and false doors. The East Maban is particularly important for its inscriptions, which provide detailed information about the foundation of the temple and the genealogy of the king. It serves as a brilliant example of how the Khmer integrated their temples into the managed hydraulic landscape, placing a symbol of the divine mountain, the temple, in the center of a symbol of the cosmic ocean, the beret, perfectly uniting engineering, art, and religion.
The Nik Pien Temple, or the Coiled Serpents, is a unique and fascinating small temple built by King Jayavarman VII in the late 12th century after Christ. It is located in the center of the Preachan Beret, the last of the great barets built at Angkor, and represents a symbolic Anavatapta, a mythical Himalayan lake whose waters were thought to cure all illness. The central sanctuary is a circular island, surrounded by the coiled bodies of 2 Naga serpents, which give the temple its name, set in the middle of a square pond. This central pond is surrounded by 4 smaller, connected ponds, each with a distinctive gargantuan spout in the form of a human head, an elephant's head, a horse's head, and a lion's head. It is believed that water was channeled from the central sanctuary out through these spouts, and that the temple functioned as a hospital, with the water, blessed by the Buddha figure in the central shrine, having healing properties. Nik Pien is a masterpiece of symbolic design and hydraulic engineering, encapsulating the Mahayana Buddhist ideals of compassion and healing that characterized the reign of its builder, and stands as one of the most conceptually innovative structures in all of Angkor.
Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.